Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will learn about CrewAI Flows. In the previous video, we have already learned about the basic concepts of CrewAI, how to install CrewAI, and how to build a content generation application using CrewAI. And we used Olama in the previous video. So if you want to learn CrewAI and topics related to CrewAI, I'm creating a playlist here on my channel, which will have all the details, all the aspects of CrewAI. So after the last video, now in this video, we will be learning about CrewAI Flows. So, first of all, we'll learn the conceptual parts of CrewAI Flows. We'll see the theoretical concepts, various aspects of CrewAI Flows, various functionalities available in CrewAI Flows, and then we will also work and create an application using CrewAI Flows, which will make it easier for everyone to understand um, the implementation part of CrewAI Flows also. So first of all, to start with, what is CrewAI Flows? So it's basically a powerful feature designed to streamline the creation and management of AI workflows. So what is workflow? So workflow can be a flow in which we are combining multiple crews, multiple functions together, and everything works in an orchestrated way. So that's what we can call as a workflow. So flows allow developers to combine and coordinate coding tasks and crews efficiently, right? Providing a robust framework for building sophisticated AI automations. So we can combine multiple functions, multiple crews together into a workflow, and this can be done using a lot of functionalities available in CrewAI. So CrewAI allows us to create workflows. It also provides state management, which we will see, when we are creating the project, and then it also provides event-driven architecture. That is, we can run crews based on conditions, based on basically events-driven model, right? And then it also provides various conditional logics like and logic or logic. It also provides router function. So all this we will see um, when we create the project, how we can use these different functionalities here. In this video, we will learn about start decorator. If I just scroll down here, we'll learn about start decorator, decorator. Then we'll also learn about various conditional logics like or logic and logic, and we'll also see router functionality here. So if I just scroll down here, so in the flow control section, we have conditional logic or then basically this or function is in flows allows to listen to like one or multiple methods and trigger the listener method when any of the specified models emit an output. And then similarly, we have and logic, which allows to listen methods only when all of the previous methods have executed. And then we have router decorator, which allows to define conditional routing. Basically, on a certain condition, we can decide the path of the flow, like in which direction or which path the flow is following. Like based on a particular condition, we can direct it to uh, trigger a particular crew or a particular function. So we'll again see the example of this, of all these functionalities in our project. Then we also have, as we discussed earlier, we also have something called as start and listen decorators. So start decorator is used to mark a method as the starting point of a flow, right? So when we're starting a flow, the first method of a flow is going to be started with a start decorator. And then we have listen decorator. This basically is used to mark a method as a listener for the output of another task in the flow. So if we want a function to listen the previous function, then we can use the at the rate listen decorator to call it a listener method. So now with this quick context about CrewAI flows, let's get started with developing a sample or a quick use case in which we will be developing a smart greeting system, right? So what this greeting system will do is based on the relationship type which you have with an individual, it will select one of the five crews to generate a automated greeting, right? So we have five crews over here. So first of all, we'll start off with creating a flow, and then we'll have five crews for different relationship types. So we have five crews, which are family greeting crew, friend greeting crew, colleague greeting crew, client greeting crew, and the fifth one is a general greeting crew. So we'll see in detail about all these crews, how to create these crews, how to create the flow, how to basically trigger all these crews based on conditions, based on router functionality, based on or conditional logic. And then at the last, we'll also see the plot of this entire flow, as in how the flow looks like. Okay, so now at this point, let's get started. So the first thing is we'll have to create the greeting flow. So now I've already, created all the YAML files and the Python files here, um, just to save some time. So if we come here, the first thing we can do is we can just get started with creating the flow. Okay, so this may take a few seconds. Okay, so our flow is created now. So if you see, we have a greeting flow with a template, with a basic template for a flow, which includes everything, which includes a src file, which has a directory called greeting flow. Inside this, we have a directory called crews. So this crews will have all the crews which we will create, and then we have something called as main.py file. So this is going to be the actual flow file, which will do all the orchestration of the crews, right? And then we have something called as tools, which we will not be using in this tutorial. We'll see the tools functionality soon in another video on this channel in the same playlist. Now inside the crews, if you see, CrewAI provides a sample template, so, and this is a poem crew template, but here we don't need this poem crew. So we'll be creating our own crews. So we'll quickly get started with the first one. So the first crew is family greeting crew. Okay. So in the crews directory, we will create a new folder called as family greeting crew. Okay. Inside this, we will create all the different directories and the files which we want. So in the interest of time, what we can do is we can just take everything from this sample template, and we can just paste it in our directory which we created. So let's say here we have this. Let's copy everything. Let's go here. We'll put it here. Okay, great. Now going back here. So inside this family greeting group, we have all the folders and the required files. We'll just, uh, you know, provide our own YAML files or the content instead of this one. So now we already have the YAML file for the agent, right? So this is the first agent which we have. So for every crew, we'll have to give three files: agents YAML file, tasks YAML file in the config directory, and then a Python file for the crew, right? So first of all, let's get started with this one. Okay, so we have this family greeting agent available now. So now next we will go for the tasks.yaml. Okay, and now here let's just rename this as family greeting crew. Okay, we'll just rename it family greeting crew. Family greeting crew. Okay, now we already have the code here for the family greeting crew.py file. So we'll just copy this and we'll go here and paste it. Okay, now we have everything ready for the first crew, which is the family greeting crew. So now let's go through the different files here one by one. So the first one which we want to go through is the agents.yaml file. So this agents.yaml file is going to define various agents which we will be using in this crew, in this family greeting crew basically. So, and we have to give a few parameters here like a role, goal, and backstory. We have to give a name for the agent. So the agent name is family greeting agent, and the role is family greeting specialist. And we are saying your goal. We are saying to the agent that your goal is create warm and affectionate greeting messages for family members. And we also have to provide a bit of a backstory as a context to this agent. And the context is you are an expert in crafting heartfelt messages that express love and care with families, right? So we are making this agent absolutely oriented towards generating a greeting for a family member. Next, we have a tasks.yaml file. So this YAML file will have all the tasks which we want this particular agent to do. So the name, so we have to provide the name of the task. The name here is generate family greeting, and then we have to provide this, we have to give a description here for the task. So this description here is compose a warm and affectionate greeting for a family member, and here we are giving an input which is the recipient name, which we will see where we will use this, in the crew dot in basically the actual flow main.py file when we are running this crew. But for time being, let's just say that this is an input which we are giving from the user. So we are saying, the description as compose a warm and affectionate greeting for a family member, and the input from the user, which is the name and the occasion, on which occasion we want to create this greeting. And then we are saying that consider any known preferences or details about the recipient to make the message more personal. So since this is a family greeting, so we want the greeting to be more personal. And then the expected output we have to give. Here, the expected output is a heartfelt greeting message filled with love and appreciation, tailored to the particular person to whom we want to, greet. And then we also have given the occasion for which we want to generate this greeting. And here, the agent. So in the task, we have to provide the agent which we want to use to complete this task. The agent here is family greeting agent, which is nothing but the agent which we created in this agents.yaml file. Now, once we have this agents.yaml and tasks.yaml configuration ready, now we have another file, which is the crew file. And here it is a family greeting crew.py file, right? So here we have to, first of all, create the class family greeting crew, and then we kind of provide the path to the YAML configuration files here, agents.yaml and tasks.yaml file. And then we define all the agents one by one. If you see family greeting agent, and then we also define the task, generate family greeting task, right? And then we basically put everything together in this crew method. We provide the agents tasks, and we also provide the process. Here the process is sequential, that is we want things to run one by one, one after the other, and then we give verbose equal to true so that we can see the step-by-step execution of this crew. Okay, now we are good to go with creating the next crew. The next crew here for us is, the next crew is going to be friend greeting crew. Okay, so now let's quickly create another folder here. The folder name will be friend greeting crew. Okay, now again let's repeat the same thing. To save some time, we'll just copy paste the content from this one to the new crew, which is the family greeting crew. Now we'll make the modifications. Okay, let's get back to it. So the family greeting crew is already done. Now we are making the modifications on the friend greeting crew. Okay, so here also we have the same folders and files. The first folder we want to make changes in is the config folder in which we have the agents.yaml and tasks.yaml. So quickly going here, and we'll provide the required agents for this friend greeting crew. Okay, now the second is going to be tasks.yaml. We have made the changes in the prompt accordingly. So in this one, if you see for the task.yaml for generate friend greeting, we are giving the description accordingly. We are saying that compose a cheerful and fun greeting for a friend. In the previous one, we said for a family member, right? So now these two files are again ready. Now again, we'll rename this one to friend greeting crew. Friend greeting crew, and we'll provide the necessary code for this one. Okay. Now here we go. Okay. So again, we have the second crew ready now, right? So now we'll move ahead with creating the third crew. And the third crew is going to be colleague greeting crew. So we'll just create a new folder, colleague greeting crew. And then again, we'll copy paste all the stuff from here to the colleague greeting crew directory. And then again, we'll do the necessary changes. We'll go to the config directory, we'll go to agents.yaml file, and we provide the required agents for this colleague greeting crew also. So now we are good with agents.yaml file. Now we'll go to task.yaml file. We'll repeat the same step. So this is now again ready. And we'll rename this one to colleague greeting crew.py. And now we will do the changes in this py file, colleague greeting crew.py file. Okay. Okay, now we'll create our next crew, which is going to be client greeting crew. Let's copy this. We'll go to crews again. We'll create a new folder, client greeting crew. We'll repeat the same steps again. Client greeting crew, and we'll move on to do the necessary changes. If we go to the config directory, we have the agents.yaml file, but we'll provide the agents.yaml file for generating greeting for the clients. Here we go. This file is ready. We just save it. We go to task.yaml file. We again copy the tasks for generating greetings for clients. This task.yaml file is also ready. We'll quickly rename this Python file to client greeting crew. Client greeting crew. Perfect. And then we'll copy paste the Python file, the crew.py file for client greetings. Okay, we just delete this. Okay, so now we are done with our 4 crews. Now we're just left with one last crew, which is the general greeting crew. This crew is going to take care of any other types of relationships other than these 4 which we have. And then let's create a new folder, general greeting crew. So we have a space here. Okay, now we'll repeat the same steps. We'll go to general greeting crew, put everything, and we'll make the changes here. First of all, we'll go to the config file, agents.yaml. Agents.yaml file, and we'll make the changes here. Now I'll go to task.yaml. We'll do the changes here. Now we'll quickly rename this file to general greeting crew. General greeting crew. Okay, and now we'll do the changes in this file. Let's get started here. Okay, so this file is also ready. So at this point, we have our all the crews ready. And now we can just delete this sample template crew, which we got from CrewAI. So we'll just say delete. Okay, so now we have 5 crews: client meeting, client greeting crew, colleague greeting crew, family greeting crew, friend greeting crew, and a general greeting crew. Okay, so now we are just left with one last thing, which is um, creating this flow main.py file, which is going to orchestrate all of these above crews which we have created. So now let's quickly do that, and we'll try to understand what this actually does, how this orchestration happens, what are the different functionalities. So we'll just copy this quickly, and we'll go to this main.py file. We will paste it. Okay, so now we are ready with everything. Just one final thing which we need to change is greeting flow plot. No, everything looks perfect. Okay, now okay, let's get back to this file. Now we need to discuss what is happening exactly here. Okay, so now this is the actual flow file, the main.py file, which kind of puts everything together as in all the crews, all the methods, whatever we want to use in this workflow together, right? So first of all, we start off with importing the necessary modules here. That is the from CrewAI.flow, we import the flow, listen, start, router, or, and we'll be using all of this in this flow. Then we import all the different crews which I have created, right? So we have client crew, colleague crew, family crew, friend crew, general crew, and then we provide the variables which we want to use in this flow. So this recipient name, occasion, and relationship type. These are the inputs, and this greeting message is the output which we will be using in this flow. So we first of all we define, at least declare all these variables in a class, and then we get started with creating the greeting flow class. And here we have the first router, the start router, which we use to declare a function of the starting function of this flow. So the starting function is getting the recipient details from the user. So here we have just provided few details here. The user can also take the runtime input here by using the input function in Python. But for this demo purpose, we just hard coded these details. So the recipient name is John Doe, occasion is promotion, and the relation type is client, right? And then we are putting everything in the state here. So the CrewAI Flows provides the state concept here. We are putting everything in the state dictionary, which we can use throughout this code, throughout this flow at any point in time. So as all of these variables are stored in this state dictionary, okay? So after getting the recipient details, the next one is we want to route, the flow of the path of the, we want to route the path of this flow uh, based on some conditions, right? So based on the relationship type, we want to call different crews. So for that, we have to define or declare a function as a router function, And then we create different conditions. For example, using the state functionality, we are saying that if the relationship type is family, we return family greeting. If the relationship type is friend, we return friend greeting. And the special thing here is that if we use this router function, then we can not only listen to the functions, but we can also listen to the return values here. So that's what we are doing. We are listening to the return value here, that if the relationship type is family greeting, then we will call the generate family greeting function, which again calls the family greeting crew. And here we provide the inputs, that is the recipient name, occasion, and so any additional info which we want to add, that is just a hard coded string. And then we give the kickoff. We kick off the crew here with these inputs, right? And then we again save the output in the state dictionary in the variable greeting.message, right? Similarly, we repeat this step for all the other crews. So we listen to this return of value friend greeting. That is, if the relationship type is friend greeting, if the relationship type is friend and the return value is friend greeting, then we will listen to friend greeting and we'll call this generate friend greeting function, which again calls the friend greeting crew. So using this conditional basically logic using the router functionality, we are able to decide the path of the flow based on conditions, right? We'll repeat the same step for colleague greeting, client greeting, and then general greeting. And then at last, we use the OR functionality. So here we say that listen to all these functions, generate general greeting, generate friend greeting, and if any one of these functions trigger or get executed, then you call this save greeting function to just save the greeting in a txt file, right? So the OR functionality allows you to trigger this function if any one of the functions mentioned inside this OR function is triggered. But if we use the AND functionality, then all of the functions need to be triggered before this save greeting function is triggered, right? And then we just create a function for kickoff and plot, right? Now we are good to get started with running this flow. But before we run this flow, let's quickly look at the folder structure here. So we gave the command CrewAI create flow greeting flow. Inside this greeting flow, we have the src file, and inside this src file, we have greeting underscore flow directory. So just to repeat, inside greeting flow directory, we have src directory, and then we have greeting flow directory inside src directory. Inside this, we have uh, we have a directory called as crews. Inside this crews, we have all the 5 crews which we made, right? And let's see the structure inside one particular crew. Inside a particular crew, we have a folder called as config, which has the agents.yaml file and task.yaml file. And then we have a crew file for every crew, right? And then if we come out of the crews directory, then we have a file called as main.py file, which is the actual flow file which orchestrate all of these crews. Okay, so now we also need to do one more change, which is we have to provide the necessary model details or the credentials, if you're using any credentials here. So we can just so in this tutorial we'll be using Olama. You can just copy paste this from the other project which we did earlier. So now we'll be using Olama Llama 3.1 model, and then we will just paste this in this env file. Okay, so now at this point we are good to start the kickoff of this CrewAI flow. So now let's just try that everything is working fine. Okay, 1 second. Crew AI flow kickoff. Okay, so we are not in the correct directory. So we need to be inside the greeting flow directory before we start the kickoff. So let's start the kickoff. Okay, so first of all, it will install all the required dependencies, and then one by one, it will start hitting the specific agent with the given set of inputs, as in the given relationship type in our flow file. So just to just recall, we have the relationship type as client here, right? Okay, so it has started to execute. So based on the relationship type, if we observe, it is hitting the client relationship greeting specialist, right? Because we provided that logic in the router functionality basically here. And now it says it gives the agent and the task which this agent is supposed to do. And then it might take a few seconds before it starts generating the greeting. Okay, here we go. So now based on the relationship type and the prompt which we gave in the agent and the task YAML file, we have a very client-oriented, professional-looking greeting generated. So it says, "Dear Mr. Doe, I would like to thank this opportunity to extend my warmest congratulations on your recent promotion. Your dedication and hard work have been have not gone unnoticed, and we are thrilled to see you taking on new challenges within the company." Right? So it is very client oriented, it's very occasion oriented, and it is very relationship type oriented, right? And now it also saves everything in this greeting.txt file, right? Okay, so now we'll do one more test here. So instead of client and instead of occasion as promotion, let's say the occasion is birthday, and instead of client, the relationship type is, let's say, family, for example. Okay, we are good. Let's again kick off the crew flow. Okay, so running the flow. So now in this iteration, if we see carefully, since we changed the relationship type, it is also hitting to the family greeting specialist agent, right? And now it generates a very personal kind of a greeting. It says, "Happy birthday, John Doe. Wishing you an extraordinary day filled with laughter, love, and all your favorite things, and so on." Right? Okay, so now we understood that based on the relationship type using the router functionality, we are able to route the flow of the path of our flow to a specific cruise, right? So now we can also see the basically the plot of this um, entire flow. So let's say CrewAI flow plot. Okay, so now this we have the plot of this flow in a HTML file which we generate using the CrewAI flow plot command. So if we go here, we'll see this file and we'll just open it. Wow, so this is a nice looking flow here. So first of all, we have the first function, the starter function, get recipient details, and then route based on relationship function, which kind of decides the path of the flow. So if the relationship type is client, then it goes to this particular crew. If the relationship type is family, it goes to a family greeting crew, and so on. And then if any one of these crews or methods are triggered, then we trigger the save greeting method, and the greeting is saved in this particular greeting.txt file, right? So this is all for this video. I'll be putting more CrewAI videos in this particular CrewAI tutorial playlist. So to get more content on CrewAI, you can subscribe this channel, and you can also like the videos and share the videos with the friends, so that I can come up with more and more interesting videos on the latest technologies. This is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. Mm, do like and subscribe if you like the content. Thank you.